Dear students, welcome to Arith. Today we'll learn cross product or vector product. So, now A cross B is defined as mod of A into mod of B into sine theta n cap. So now check. Let there are two vectors. This is A, this is B. The angle between A and B is theta. Now when we find the cross product, then the cross product of two vectors is a vector. So it has a magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sine theta, and this n k, it is along the normal to the plane of A and B given by right hand thumb rule. So now if you have to find A cross B, then place the fingers on A and call towards B. This will be the direction of MK. Now if you have to find B cross A, then place the fingers on B and call towards A. So NK will be inwards. So A cross B is not equal to B cross A, but we can write A cross B is equal to negative of B cross A. So magnitude of A cross B is same as magnitude of B cross A. So we can say that cross product of two vectors is not commutative, but A cross B and B cross A are the negative vectors. So both have equal magnitudes but in opposite direction. In this case, A cross B will act upwards or outwards, B cross A will be act inwards. Both have the magnitude A cross B sine theta. We can write it as mod of A into mod of B into sine theta, or for simplicity we can write it as AB sine theta. So now we will go for properties of cross product. देखेंगे क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट का क्या क्या प्रॉपर्टीज है. So first property is it is not commutative. Now second property, if A equal to AX I cap plus AY J cap plus AZ K cap, B equal to Bx I cap plus By J cap plus Bz K cap, then we can write A cross B, it is equal to determinant of I J K Ax Ay Az Bx By Bz. This will be the A cross B. Now we will go for next one is called condition of collinearity. Now if A and B are collinear, so collinear vectors means either they are parallel or anti-parallel. If they are parallel, the angle is 0 degree, or if they are anti-parallel, the angle between A and B is 180 degree. Now that implies sine theta will be 0 because sine 0 is 0 and sine 180 is 0. So we can say A cross B equal to 0 vector, or mod of A cross B equal to 0. So this is called condition of collinearity. But if two vectors are given in rectangular component form, you can check the collinearity by just checking Ax by Bx equal to Ay by By equal to Az by Bz. In that case only this determinant will be 0, because if a row is a multiple of another row, then its determinant is 0. So we can write ax by bx equal to ay by by equal to az by bz. If this holds good, then the vectors are collinear, or if this holds good, they are collinear. This is called condition of collinearity. Next, geometrical significance. Now, what is the geometrical meaning of cross product? So, first, area of triangle. Now, consider a triangle whose sides are A and B. Now, the angle between them is theta. Now, draw a perpendicular. Let this is the triangle ABC, and the foot of perpendicular is D. Now, this side has a length B, so we can write sine theta. It will be equal to AD divided by AB, that is equal to B. So, AD equal to B sine theta. Now, area of the triangle will be, from this triangle we can write its area is half into base into height, half into BC into AD. Now it is equal to half into BC is the magnitude of A into AD equal to B sine theta, that is mod of B into sine theta. Now this is A cross B, so area of the triangle equal to half into mod of A cross B. This represents area of triangle. Now second, area of parallelogram. Now consider a parallelogram whose adjacent sides are A vector and B vector. Now if you join this is A, B, C, D. Now these two triangles are congruent, so both have the same area. Now area of the parallelogram equal to 2 times area of the triangle. Now it is equal to 2 into half times mod of A cross B, which is equal to mod of A cross B. So mod of A cross B represents the area of the parallelogram whose adjacent sides are A and B. This is the geometrical meaning of cross product. Next, we will go for relation between dot product and cross product. What is the relation between dot product and cross product? Now, A dot B equal to AB cos theta. A cross B mod, it is equal to AB sin theta. Now we can write it as root over of A square B square cos square theta equal to, now square both and add A dot B square plus mod of A cross B whole square equal to A square B square cos square theta plus A square B square sin square theta, that is equal to A square B square कॉमन ले, अगर कॉमन लेंगे तो क्या रहेगा cos square theta plus sin square theta, that is equal to 1. So it is equal to A square into B square. So we can write A dot B square plus mod of A cross B whole square equal to A square into B square. So mod of A cross B square equal to A square B square minus A dot B square. This is the relation between dot product and cross product. Next we'll go for physical quantities. Given by dot product. First, linear displacement S equal to theta cross R. Similarly, linear velocity V equal to omega cross R. Here S is linear displacement, theta is angular displacement, R is radius vector. V linear velocity, omega, this is angular velocity, R, this is radius vector. Now third, accelerations in circular motion. Now consider a particle is moving in a circle. So this is the direction of V. So if we take the derivative, dV by dt, it is equal to derivative of omega cross R, which is equal to, if we apply the product rule for derivative, it will be omega cross dr by dt plus d omega by dt cross R. Now this will be omega cross V plus alpha cross R, because derivative of angular acceleration, derivative of angular velocity, it is angular acceleration. Now dV by dt, it is the total acceleration. So total acceleration A equal to omega cross V plus alpha cross R. Now this omega cross V, just remember, any angular quantity, it is always directed along the axis of rotation. So this is the direction of omega. So this will be the direction of omega. Now if we take omega cross V, this is along the radius. If we take omega cross V, this is directed along the radius. That's why this is called radial acceleration AR. Plus alpha cross R. Alpha cross R is directed along the tangent. So this is called tangential acceleration. This radial acceleration is also called centripetal acceleration. So we can write A radial or A centripetal, that is equal to omega cross V. It is always along the radius towards the center. The other term AT, that is called tangential acceleration, that is equal to alpha cross R. It is always along the tangent. So now A, it is the vector sum of AC and AT. Now AC is directed like this and AT is directed like this. Now their vector sum, this will represent total acceleration A. Now if we apply the law of vector addition, as AC and AT are perpendicular to each other, the magnitude of A, it will be root over of AC square plus AT square. This will be our total acceleration. Now simply you can observe, if the equation is given, then just remember A equal to mod of dV by dt and AT equal to, you can write derivative of mod V. A equal to modulus of dV by dt and tangential acceleration, it is equal to derivative of magnitude of v. Now, if the particle moves in a constant moves in a constant speed, now magnitude of v remains constant, so tangential acceleration becomes 0. At that case, the total acceleration is the centripetal acceleration. So for uniform circular motion, we always take the centripetal acceleration only, because tangential acceleration becomes 0. But if the particle moves in a non-uniform circular motion, it has both the acceleration. One is called centripetal acceleration and second one is called the tangential acceleration. Now, centripetal acceleration is always perpendicular to the velocity. So, centripetal acceleration doesn't change the speed of the particle. It just changes the direction of motion. At, it is directed along the velocity. So, it doesn't change the direction of motion. It changes the speed of the particle. Now, this term AC, this changes the direction of the particle. At, this changes the speed of the particle. And total acceleration is the vector sum of centripetal acceleration and tangential acceleration. Now, let us go for some other physical quantities. Next one is torque or moment of a force. Now, let this is a point O. Let a force is acting along this direction. Now, let D is the perpendicular distance between the point and the line of action of the force. So, this vector will be R. So, D equal to R sin theta. If the angle between R and F is theta, then D equal to R sin theta. So, the torque is given by R cross F. The torque of the force or the moment of the force about the point O, it is given by R cross F. So, magnitude equal to RF sin theta. We can write it as F into D. That means magnitude of the force into perpendicular distance of the line of action of the force. This is the value of torque. Similarly, angular momentum, or this is also called moment of momentum. Consider a particle is moving along this direction. So its momentum P equal to mv. Now the line of action of the momentum has a distance d, has a length d from the point O. Now this is r. If this angle is theta, then this angle is also theta. So d becomes r sin theta. Now angular momentum L equal to r cross p, that is equal to r cross mv, or simply we can write m into r cross v. So magnitude of angular momentum will be rp sin theta, that is equal to p into d. Magnitude of the momentum into perpendicular distance. This is the value of angular momentum. Now, if we go for coordinate geometry, let this is our coordinate system. Let this is any line having equation ax plus by plus c. Now take any point x1, y1. If you measure the perpendicular distance, d equal to root over of ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root over of a square plus b square. This is the value of d. Or you can take total magnitude, no problem. Like that. If we measure the distance from origin, distance from origin. Now if I have to measure this distance, now for origin the coordinates are 0 and 0, so d from origin becomes c by root over of a square plus b square. So this is the formula for distance of a line from origin. Now if a question is given like this, let a force of 10 Newton is acting along the line 3x plus 4y plus 5 equal to 0. Now find, this is ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root over of a square plus b square. Now measure the moment of the force about a point 3 and 5. Now how will you calculate? You have to measure d. Now here d will be 3 into 3 plus 4 into 5 plus 5 divided by root over of 3 square plus 4 square. Now F is given 10 Newton. You can calculate d. So just put the formula. What is the formula? D equal to mod of ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root over of a square plus b square. So next we will go for some other physical quantities. Now if we will go for Biot-Savart's law, dB equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r cap divided by mod of r square, or you can write it as mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r divided by mod of r cube. This is the value of magnetic field. Like that, magnetic force Fm equal to Q into V cross B, where Q is the charge, V is the velocity and B is the magnetic field. Like that, Lorentz force, it is equal to Q into E plus V cross B. You already know the magnetic force on a charged particle, Lorentz force on a charged particle. Next, torque. For electric field, the torque on a dipole, it is P cross C. This is for electric field. For magnetic field, it is M cross B. So torque on a dipole due to external electric field will be P cross C. Torque on a magnetic dipole due to an external magnetic field will be M cross B. So these are the quantities which are given by cross product. Now the last part is Lami's theorem. Now if there are three vectors whose vector sum is 0, we can represent them as like this. This is A, this is B, this is C. Now the angle between B and C, it is A. Angle between A and B, it is C. It is B. Or we can represent them as three sides of a triangle taken in same order. So this angle will be A, this angle will be B, this angle will be C. Now from this A plus B plus C equal to 0, we can write A cross B, it is equal to B cross C, it is equal to C cross A. So mod of A cross B equal to mod of B cross C equal to mod of C cross A. So we can write A by sin A equal to B by sin B equal to C by sin C. This is very useful in case of equilibrium of forces, we can use this formula to solve the equations. Now this is all about cross product of vectors. So now in the last class we have gone through dot product, and in this class we have gone through cross product of vectors. So in this class our chapter vectors is over. Now I will provide you the questions in the link. Go through them, and if any doubt arises, ask in the Telegram link given in the link. So thank you.